In a development that has stirred curiosity and emotion among global BTS fans, Kim Seokjin, known mononymously as Jin, was recently seen privately celebrating Jungkook's birthday with the youngest member of BTS, without the presence of the other members. The moment, subtle yet powerful, has triggered speculation about the internal dynamics of BTS as well as the emotional weight the event carried for Jin himself. The quiet celebration took place one day after Jungkook's official birthday on September 1st. According to fans who spotted the two near a discreet location in Seoul, Jin appeared emotional, even wiping tears from his eyes before gently embracing Jungkook. Sources close to the fan community claim that Jin offered heartfelt words. "I'm sorry I couldn't be there on the day. I didn't want to miss this moment with you." The interaction, though private, reportedly left even staff members present visibly touched. This rare one-on-one meeting between the eldest and youngest of BTS has sparked an online frenzy. Fans are praising the sincerity of their bond, yet questions are naturally surfacing. Why was this moment shared just between the two of them? Where were the other members? Big Hit Music has made no official comment, and neither Jin nor Jungkook have posted about the event on their personal platforms as of this writing. However, that hasn't stopped ARMY from drawing their own interpretations. Some believe this was Jin's personal way of making up for missing Jungkook's birthday on the exact day due to conflicting schedules, while others speculate a deeper emotional layer, especially considering the members' individual paths since returning from military service or launching solo activities. Photos of a small cake box and handwritten note, believed to be from Jin, have circulated in private fan circles, further amplifying the emotional impact. The note, allegedly signed, "Your Seokjin Hyung," reads, "Even if I'm late, I always want to show up for you. Let's keep running together." In a fandom that thrives on unity and symbolism, this private celebration between Jin and Jungkook serves as both a touching reminder of their brotherhood and a subtle question mark in the ongoing story of BTS. Is this simply a quiet reunion between two souls who deeply understand each other, or is there more beneath the surface? What followed in the hours after the news broke was a wave of emotional responses from ARMY across the globe. Hashtags like #Jin and Jungkook, #Jin for Jungkook, and #Magne and Eldest surged into the trending charts on X, formerly Twitter, with thousands of fans expressing both admiration and curiosity over the nature of the intimate gathering. Many shared how touched they were by Jin's apology and the effort he made to ensure Jungkook still felt loved, even belatedly. K-pop idols are always on tight schedules, but Jin showing up even after missing the exact day just proves how genuine he is, one fan posted. Another wrote, "It wasn't about a big party. It was about presence, sincerity, and the emotional bridge between brothers." While some fans continue to speculate why the other members weren't involved, especially RM, Jimin, V, or J-Hope, others have quickly come to Jin's defense, suggesting that the one-on-one moment with Jungkook was likely intended to be personal and healing. Jin, after all, has only recently returned to full public activities following his military service, and his schedule has remained tightly packed with commitments ranging from his Maison Fred ambassadorship to the global success of his EP tour. But beyond the speculation, there's an undeniable truth in the gestures Jin has consistently made toward his members, particularly Jungkook, whom he has always treated with a unique mix of gentle teasing and heartfelt affection. Their age gap, once used as a source of humor on variety shows, has seemingly deepened into something far more emotional as time has passed. And in this recent reunion, fans caught a glimpse of that evolution. Two men, no longer boys, navigating the weight of fame, separation, and reunion. With nothing more than a cake box and a quiet hug, neither Jin nor Jungkook has uploaded any official photos of the moment. But perhaps that's exactly what makes it feel so real. It wasn't for content. It wasn't for engagement. It was for them to, as one viral post so eloquently put it, Jin didn't show up late. He showed up when it mattered. In the days following the quiet celebration, fans began to reflect more deeply on the emotional weight Jin must have carried. This was not simply about missing a birthday. It was about the pressure of time, of absence, of returning to a world that kept spinning while he served in the military. Jin's apology, tender and unscripted, struck a nerve, not because he owed Jungkook anything, but because he felt he did. For Jungkook, the golden magne who has often looked up to Jin as a source of stability and humor, this moment was likely just as meaningful. While the youngest member of BTS is no stranger to standing alone in the spotlight, especially with his recent solo projects and fitness-focused public image, Jin's arrival signaled something rare in the whirlwind of idol life: unconditional presence. the type of care that says, "Even if I miss the day, I would never miss you." Cafe staff who allegedly witnessed the two entering a private room for over an hour have remained tight-lipped, but fans who gathered outside shared that Jin exited first, placing a hand over his chest as if trying to hold something in. Jungkook followed moments later, looking down but smiling faintly. This subtle choreography between the two, the pauses, the timing, the absence of spectacle, only further amplified the emotional message behind their reunion. It wasn't loud. It wasn't recorded. It was intimate. Industry insiders now suggest that Jin and Jungkook may collaborate more closely in upcoming projects, citing recent internal discussions at HYB that mention a special stage being considered for late 2025. While unconfirmed, the speculation adds another layer of anticipation for fans hoping to see the emotional connection between these two artists manifest into music or performance. Ultimately, Jin's belated birthday celebration with Jungkook has become more than just a personal moment. It's a mirror reflecting the soul of BTS itself: brotherhood over business, sincerity over spectacle, and love that transcends even the calendar. And as the days unfold, the ripples from that intimate evening continue to echo, not just within the BTS fandom, but across the entertainment industry. Commentators from Korean media outlets like Dispatch, TV Report, and Sports Seoul have begun spotlighting the understated power of Jin's gesture. One columnist described it as the kind of moment that reminds us what separates BTS from the rest: the emotional fidelity between its members. For longtime ARMYs, the scene felt like a full-circle moment. Jungkook, who debuted at just 15, once leaned on Jin not just as a group mate, but as a surrogate older brother, mentor, and emotional anchor. Now, years later, with both men standing as solo artists, independent yet bonded by shared history, the emotional undercurrent of their relationship surfaces once more, not through a public performance, but through a quiet apology, a late-night cake, and an embrace far from the stage lights. International fanbases responded with a flurry of fan art, edits, and tribute threads. Some fans compiled past clips of Jin caring for Jungkook, tying his shoelaces, covering him with a blanket, making him laugh, and contrasted them with the current moment, noting how their bond had matured, but never faded. One fan wrote, "He missed the birthday, but not the person. Jin didn't come with balloons. He came with love." HYB has declined to comment on the private meetup, but internal reports suggest that Jin's schedule was packed around September 1st, with brand shoots and a closed-door meeting in Tokyo. The fact that he carved out time for Jungkook even after such commitments only deepens the narrative that his priorities haven't changed, even if his world has. As BTS continues to navigate its chapter of solo endeavors and military rotations, this moment between Jin and Jungkook has become a quiet emblem of what remains unshaken: loyalty, affection, and a bond that refuses to weaken with time or distance. IT was never about the cake, never about the camera. IT was about a promise, unspoken, but deeply kept, and in the language of BTS, that may be the truest celebration of all. And as the days unfold, the ripples from that intimate evening continue to echo, not just within the BTS fandom, but across the entertainment industry. Commentators from Korean media outlets like Dispatch, TV Report, and Sports Seoul have begun spotlighting the understated power of Jin's gesture. One columnist described it as the kind of moment that reminds us what separates BTS from the rest: the emotional fidelity between its members. For longtime ARMYs, the scene felt like a full-circle moment. Jungkook, who debuted at just 15, once leaned on Jin not just as a group mate, but as a surrogate older brother, mentor, and emotional anchor. Now, years later, with both men standing as solo artists, independent yet bonded by shared history, the emotional undercurrent of their relationship surfaces once more, not through a public performance, but through a quiet apology, a late-night cake, and an embrace far from the stage lights. International fanbases responded with a flurry of fan art, edits, and tribute threads. Some fans compiled past clips of Jin caring for Jungkook, tying his shoelaces, covering him with a blanket, making him laugh, and contrasted them with the current moment, noting how their bond had matured, but never faded. One fan wrote, "He missed the birthday, but not the person. Jin didn't come with balloons.